how I screwed up the exit from a photo shoot and how you can avoid making the same mistakes I did. Last year, I celebrated turning 40 by doing not one, but 2 physique photo shoots, which took me wildly outside of my comfort zone because previously all I'd done was like fitness events and strength competitions. So a physique shoot seemed like a really good way to document turning 40 and like a really cool milestone to be able to go into 40 in pretty good shape. And I was fairly naively confident that I would go into the photo shoot, I'd have my photographs taken, and I would just do a great job of staying in shape. And that is where I see loads of people trip themselves up when they've dieted really hard for a specific event. So I did exactly that. I went into our second photo shoot having lost 8 kilos in 8 weeks, I think. And I did an absolutely dreadful job of the weeks that followed. So what we did and how we'd planned it was that we were going to do our photo shoot and the next day we went on holiday to Sri Lanka for 2 weeks, which was absolutely incredible. But I am a massive foodie, and whenever we go away, I want to try everything they've got to offer that I probably wouldn't be able to eat at home. I also like to have a couple of drinks for my dinner, and we were just not quite as active as we normally would be because gyms in Sri Lanka were a little bit hard to come by, barring a couple of the places that we stayed. So I was taken completely out of my normal routine, and what I think I probably needed after such an intense period of dieting was a few weeks at home just to live in my normal routine and figure out what maintenance would look like for me. Because by the time I came back from Sri Lanka after 2 weeks, I think I was probably about 4, maybe 5 kilos heavier than I was the day of the shoot. Now we're gonna assume that some of that will have been plain weight and some of that will have been artificially low weight for going into the shoot. But nevertheless, I had still completely overdone it. And when we landed, we went straight back into Christmas. And before I knew it, it was January, and I'd gone from being 5 kilos heavier to 7 kilos heavier because I'd just relaxed and gone back to a life of normal. I was eating a little bit of this, we did lots of social stuff for Christmas, we had a few nights out, and I kind of forgot all about the diet, and I wasn't really worried in that specific moment about maintenance. So having been fairly confident that I was going to do physique shoot just to celebrate being 40 and to do an absolutely amazing job of it, I didn't. I am now going to do another physique shoot in December this year. I know, leading into Christmas, but bear with me. In order to do a better job of coming out of the back of the photo shoot and having a few weeks at home where I can just practice what maintenance is going to look like for me in my normal routine, and hopefully you'll all be able to learn something from that in terms of how you use structure and how you come out of the diet. So I will go through on this channel how to set your diet up for fat loss, what things I'm going to do, what my training will look like. So if you want to know a little bit about that and what physique prep looks like, hit subscribe below because I'm going to do a weekly update on all of that stuff. But I see this loads with women who have trained with me in various, like, in our gym or online. People get into great shape to go on holiday, or they get into a great shape for a wedding, or they get into great shape for an event, whatever the event might be. And then as soon as that event is done, they just return back to normal living and how they lived before the diet, with no real thought to maintenance. And there's so much to be learned about yourself and your own eating habits from just learning to live at maintenance. So when you finish dieting, it's really important and really useful, I think, for loads of people, including me, to have a period of time where you learn what maintenance eating looks like for you. And that might not be intuitive in the first initial stages of a diet because your hunger hormones are all over the place from having dieted for a long period of time. What I think are the 3 most important things coming out of a fat loss phase: 1 being spending time at maintenance calories and tracking what those maintenance calories are. Thing number 2 is monitoring your activity levels so that you can kind of balance your calories in, calories out. Because if you've been in a fairly intense fat loss phase and you've been doing extra cardio and you've been doing extra steps to what you would normally do, those things will all have an impact as you come out of that phase. So it's a bit of an experiment. And thing number 3 is don't just go straight back to normal. Give yourself a little bit of time to stay at maintenance. Find yourself some new goals. And it might be that you're going to spend a little bit of time getting stronger in the gym, or you're going to focus on getting faster at running or cycling or swimming, or you're going to do a fitness type competition, or any of those things, or just enjoy, like, you know, general normal life. But they would be my 3 top tips for coming out of a diet. Don't trust intuitive eating straight off, because like I say, your hunger hormones will be all over the place. Now, if you liked this video and you want some more useful, practical, non-nonsense tips, you can subscribe below. If you want to click like as well, that would be massively appreciated. And I will keep making content like this. Yeah, so thanks for coming along today, and I'll catch you soon.